it really has become a meme about Vikings GM Rick Spielman's love affair with 7th-round picks. It's just like, they're like fun coupons, right? And fans get so mad when Rick trades down, like in the 5th and 6th rounds, like, oh, Vikings have traded back and they've acquired an extra 7th-round pick, blah, 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 right? Just pick the player. That's what I want to do, especially day 3, right? But Rick has had multiple 7th-rounders for 9 of the past 10 drafts, including 4 in 2 of the past 3, and there is a method to the madness, and we've sort of alluded to it before in previous videos, but just wanted to put it on wax today. So first off, well, the Vikings have been in 7th-round pick haven because they've really worked the compensatory pick formula. Now, they're not on the level of the Patriots and or the Ravens quite yet, but the Vikings, especially in recent years, have definitely worked the system. So getting extra 7th-rounders because of net losses of free agents does make sense, right? Plus, you can use them to barter if you want to acquire low-level players for a song, right? So they spent a 6th-rounder on Brett Jones a couple years ago. No, 6 and 7, whatever. Plus, they spent a 7th on Mark Fields, the cornerback from Kansas City last year, as well as, you guys remember Tremaine Brock? Cool. They spent 7th on him from Seattle, I believe in 2016, so way back in the day. So a little bit of immediate value there, get a player that you don't have to contend with in free agency, as well as also, speaking of free agency, different kind of free agency. So 7th-rounders are great because you get to secure their rights as opposed to having to bid up in UDFA, right? So if you're really in on some guys who are going to be a priority undrafted free agents, and you, once at a certain point, once players is like, all right, so would I rather be a 7th-round pick or UDFA? I'd rather be UDFA because you can get that nice little bonus money. Remember, the Vikings gave Jake Browning $140,000, the largest signing bonus in UDFA history, by the way. Cool. And then you get to pick and choose your spots. Like, all right, this team is weak at my position, I'm going to go here as opposed to here. But why not, if a team is fully in on a 7th-rounder, fringe talent, why not formally spend the pick and just annex their rights as opposed to having to bid them up in free agency? Teams generally have a set budget when it comes to UDFAs. You can miss out on a player that you really like, but you just don't want to invest a draft pick in. So why not breaking a 6 down into multiple 7ths, or if you have multiple 7ths to begin with, because of compensatory free agency, why not at that point? Because yes, it does cost a little bit extra for a 7th-rounder versus UDFA, but in the long run, it's pretty negligible. It really is. Plus, also, it's almost like a 1st-rounder versus a 2nd-rounder. You get that extra year because 7th-rounders, just like all non-first-round rookies on 4-year deals, whereas for a UDFA, you get 3, and then you get a restricted free agent year. So it's almost like you're getting a little bit of sugar there if the rookie does indeed work out. Also, the chip on the shoulder players, right? Because after falling 6 rounds, it's almost an insult to be a 7th-round pick because, A, you're a little bit pissed off you didn't get to UDFA. You didn't get yourself that sweet Jake Brown bonus money, right? But also, these guys are going to come in, especially if they've been big man on campus. They've been alpha dogs in college football for a number of years. Also going back to high school, that whole thing. They're prideful guys. They certainly do have something to prove. So, the plebeian 7th-rounders are going to put in twice the amount of work as some of these 1st-round patricians, generally. Sometimes it works out. So sometimes having that little bit of edge, that little bit of, I can't believe how insulting this is to be a 7th-round pick. It does work in the Vikings' favor. Plus, if you have multiple 7ths, after you already have a very solid draft in the books, you can take chances. Like, you can roll the dice on some pretty dicey players, right? So medical guys, for sure, you look at Devontae Downs, who had a torn ACL coming out of Cal. You look at Mike Motti, who had knee injuries back in Penn State back in the day. You can take shots at character guys, some guys who may have fallen in the draft, but supreme talents. You can pick up athletes who haven't quite panned out in college. Like, you can take some certain shots on height, weight, speed specimen guys. You can take some tweeners. You're like, guys who fell in the draft after uber productive college careers because you don't know what position they're going to play in the NFL. Fadio Denebo is a great example of that. Steve Weatherly to a degree as well. Plus small school guys, potentially guys that had great college careers, except they're at the D2, FCS, et cetera type level, right? So you just take dart throws on those dudes. And also, frankly, you need guys like this to fill out the bottom of your roster, especially if you have a roster full of high-paid, high-earning, big cap hit players. You need to get a couple of these guys in to just fill in the cracks and the crevices of your 53, or soon to be 55, right? So Rick We've talked about Rick loves the 7th-round linebacker because it sort of reminds him of him, because he was this feisty. Wasn't even drafted was he drafted in like the 9th round? Doesn't matter. But this feisty is like trying to walk in the shoes of Chris Spielman. That whole thing is like, I like these feisty guys coming in. So like Audie Cole, who came in 2012 at NC State, he actually started a couple of games. He's pretty damn good investment, 7th-round pick, as well as Mike Monty from Penn State, Brandon Watts from Georgia Tech, Edmund Robinson from Newberry, Devontae Downs from Cal, Elijah Lee from Kansas State. I'm sure there'll be a 7th-round linebacker this year. I mean, Caddy Coughlin from the U. Why not come on in? Because you need these guys to replace and play some special teams, play some backup roles, etc. And it's just a really great way to replenish the roster. Plus, I mean, there's not a ton of pressure to hit on 7th-round picks. Like, when have you ever heard, well, that was a 7th-round bust? Get out of here. So it basically is a free roll because if you hit on 1 or 2, all of a sudden you are a clairvoyant. You are the master of the 7th round. I actually think Spielman has earned that title. Plus, I mean, Rick's 7th-round batting average is likely on par with other GMs around the league, but because he has more on bats, the more 7th-round contributors he gets, the more hits he has. And also, I mean, this isn't about batting average. Like, frankly, who cares how many 7th-round picks you have? But it does matter how the number of hits you have. So you need to go Pete Rose on the bit as opposed to going, Ted Williams. There you go. Nailed it. Baseball. Great. I wish baseball was still on right now, but yeah. So that is the reason. So that is why Rick Spielman loves his 7th-round picks. A, coming in through compensatory. B, trading down, just getting a couple more selections. Rick always gets his 10 picks. Well, he has 12. I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up with 15 in this draft overall. So calm down. Tranquilo. But your thoughts. Rick always gets his 7th-round picks. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, pull us up on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. As I burp and die. But until next time, Skol, production value.